YouTube, this is Loyal to Law once again, and this time, in this video, I'm going to share you audience, beginner or advanced, on the unorthodox or out-of-the-box method that I've been practicing over my years in practicing martial arts, specifically in practicing and properly executing kicking techniques. And those are using the hands, or basically the whole arms. Now, I know that some of you are already squinting your eyes and shaking your heads, thinking, how does using your hands have to do with doing kicks? Well, I first started martial arts when I was 4th year high, and when I entered the martial arts world, I don't have any kind of experience whatsoever in sports, let alone doing self-defense. And the only kick that I know doing was kicking the ball, and that alone is a self-defense technique, but that's a whole nother ball game, pun unintended. And so what I would do before, when I was a beginner, was I would watch someone of my former dojo classmates do their kicks, and I would really keenly observe how they do their kicking techniques, and I would use my hands in mimicking the motion of their legs. So basically I'm practicing my kicking using my hands. So I'm turning the kicking techniques into hand techniques, and this is where we begin. So let's say I'm going to do a front kick using my power side, which is my right side. Power side means on what side you are really strongest and you're confident at in delivering full power. So I'm right-handed, therefore I'm right-footed as well in doing kicks. So as I demonstrate doing a right front kick here, my foot, extend, pull back to starting position. Now what I would do, instead of really trying hard as a beginner to mimic that kicking move using my legs, since I don't know how to use my legs back then, I would transfer that kicking technique into my hands. So basically, as I close out here, I would do, from the same position, I would do this. Then back to position. Again. It may really look simple, but it's not really simple if you're really trying to understand the correct mechanics on doing the proper kicking technique. So what I basically did was, I imagined my elbow, my right elbow, to be my right knee. And then I lift it up. Then I imagine my forearm to be my right shin. So from the elbow going to the wrist. So what I basically thought was my right hand is my right leg. This is my knee. Now this became my ankle, and this became my foot, my right hand. So from the wrist going to the fingers of my hand became my right foot. Then I start doing the pushing motion. Back, then down. Lift it up, push back, and then down. I would do this kind of motion with my hands in a whole lot of repetitions until I really get the feeling or the full understanding of how to do the kick. Then eventually I would do this. If before I'm just using my right hand to mimic the kicking motion, I then slowly start to integrate my kicking leg. So to apply what I fully understood so far on the basic mechanics of doing the kick. So before I would do this, now I would do this. So basically, I just became a puppeteer of myself by tying in imaginary strings from my fingers to my foot to follow the motion of my hand. Once again, then my hand pushes, my leg pushes. My hand pulls back, my leg pulls back. My hand goes down, my foot goes down. And that's how I learned the basic mechanics of the kick. Well, of course, it also opened my eyes toward understanding that you should also learn how to properly use your balance. You should also train your legs for strength, and you should really also train for flexibility. And all these factors came in when I was practicing doing the kick in a very, very slow pace, even though I already got them using the hands. When I got them using the hands, that was for me to understand the basic mechanics of the kick on how you can do them properly. But when I transferred them from the hands to the feet, or to the legs rather, it really opened my eyes that there are a whole lot of factors involved in order for you to properly practice your kicks. So let's take another basic kick, for example. Let's say you're doing, we're going to do this side now, since we did this side. Let's say you see someone trying to do a side kick. So you see someone do this motion, a low side kick right here. There you go, back. What you can do with your hands as I close up here is, since you saw them doing that right side kick, the low part, you can do this motion. Scoop, then doing the slash. Back to the scoop, then back to the side. So basically, you're doing this motion right here. Once again, let's do it in slow motion. Scoop. Then you're going to use your right ridge part on your right hand to the side, mimicking the last position of the right foot that you saw. See, it's really, really similar if I do my my kicking leg like this. It's really, really similar. See, just do this kind of repetition for the side kick, the low part. And it's also the same if you're going to do the parallel version or the high version. What you're just changing is the height. So do this motion, and I also did this for a whole lot of repetitions up until I can do the snapping motion. And back down. Until you can tie the invisible strings from your fingers to your foot so that your foot can follow the motion of your hand. Like so. Good slant. There. And it really doesn't matter if you're practicing a different kind of martial art, style or discipline. These can apply to you because these are really, really basics. Now how about the back kick? Since we did this side, we're going to do this side again for balance purposes. So let's say you can do the left back kick. Here. Or rather, let's say you see someone do a left back kick, but you really can't do them for now because it requires you to have really strong core strength, really strong balance on your balancing leg, which is the right leg, and it's unnatural for you to put your torso forward, and because you're going to lose balance on one leg like this. What you can do is to practice using the hand motion. Again, your elbow you're going to imagine that your left elbow is going to be your left knee, your right and your left wrist to the fingers are going to be your left foot. And you're going to understand the basic mechanics of the back kick easier if you're going to mimic the bowing down motion of the back kick with your torso. So instead of using your leg, you can use your hand like so. See? Then back up. Again. There. You're going to do a whole lot of repetitions of this until you really fully understand the basic mechanics of the kick that you want to do. From the standing position first, of course. And it's entirely different if you're going to practice them, the basic kicks, when you're moving around, jumping, and sparring, and that kind of stuff. That's totally different. So if you really get this motion solidly down, you can try to have a chair or have your hand on the wall or anything that you can hold on to practice your balance, and then do the motion. And if you're strong enough, you may want to try not to hold on to anything and just balance on your balancing leg when doing this kick. So move your hand first, your leg follows, hand, then leg, bow down, then hand, leg, hand, and then leg. It's also the same when with doing the roundhouse. So since we did this part, we're going to do this part again here. So let's say we're going to do the rear roundhouse, which means that your roundhouse kicking leg starts with your rear leg, which is behind you. So we're going to do roundhouse here, then back. Again, we're going to do the roundhouse on a different angle, here, and back. You can use your right hand, well, that's a right roundhouse. You can use your right hand in simulating the roundhouse kick. So if you see someone doing this motion, take that kicking technique into a hand motion. Lift, and then again, lift your elbow, then just naturally swing. Keyword natural. Naturally swing your right hand over, then back. What you're basically doing in that roundhouse technique, using your right hand, is you lift your elbow, imagining again that your elbow is the knee, and your the back part of your hand is going to be the instep. So because this is the ball of the foot, or well, the ball of the foot's right here, this is the heel, this is going to be basically your instep. So you raise your elbow, imagining that it's a knee, then you just swing it like this. Then back to position. Let's do it on the side. Here. You can pivot your pivoting foot if you want to really get the feeling of the simulation that you're trying to do with the kick. So lift, pivot your pivoting foot, naturally swing. Eventually, again, as you get this more and more, doing natural repetitions of this, you can integrate the kicking leg that you're trying to practice with. So this here, or rather lift your heel, pivot your pivoting foot, swing your arm, swing the leg, pull back your arm, pull back the leg, and down. Again, lift your knee, lift the heel, pivot the pivoting foot, swing your arm, and swing your leg, then swing back your arm, swing back your leg, then original position. And so, that's it. that's the unorthodox method that I've been trying to do. That really helped me in practicing my kicking techniques. And you can do a whole lot of combinations using your hands as well that can be applied to the kicks. And hopefully this video has helped you in a really, really, really huge way. If not, even in the smallest way possible. Thank you. God bless you. Always train safe and take care.